1. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to SoFi Weekly. We had a pretty boring week in the world of SoFi, so we don't really know what we're going to talk about. In fact, I think, Tannor, I was... Okay, you're going to take this the wrong way, but I was listening to your live stream right before we got started, but I was so dead tired that I fell asleep. It wasn't because of you. It's because I was so fucking tired. I just went for a jog and everything. So I don't have any points that I can echo from your live stream, unfortunately.
No,
I can from the Wednesday live stream. I can echo your talking points, but not from Thursday.
Here's the thing. I agree with you. Because it's hard, to go on and talk about how excited I am about a 0.1 or a 10 basis point increase on a savings account, because it's not that exciting. It still is good news, and the analyst upgrades are good news, but we've been seeing analyst upgrades every single day, and it's just hard to continue to be like, yes, this is happening and blah, blah, blah. But then I think if anyone had watched the live stream, once I actually started talking about Nubank and Cash App, dude, like that is what I wanted to cover, and I should have just did it from the beginning. It's my second day. I got to realize I should put the best news up front. And
so for those that don't know, Tannor is officially going live every single day for about 30 to 45 minutes, talking about SoFi and fintech and all this other stuff. So you can get your daily dose of fintech from him on his channel, is in the description. You might be watching this from his channel right now. But now we're going to talk about SoFi. We've got Steven with us at Dividend Streams, who has a fresh haircut, correct? Yes? No? You didn't get it? It looks like you got a haircut. Okay, well, I thought you got a haircut. And we got Tevis, Fundamentals of Investing, who is back from his vacation. So he's back with the real bricks, like myself. Okay, let's just start off like this. SoFi stock rallied into the 8s, almost at 870 today, was testing to flirt a little bit with $9. What was your raw reaction to the stock price movement over the past week? Tevis, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see hitting 52-week highs. I mean, it's the entire macro is dragging it up, right? I think, like, similarly, Tesla, which is my biggest position, was up just as much, and a whole bunch of other names in my portfolio were up. It seems as though, like, big money is starting to flirt back to getting into the market, although I'm skeptical, because I could see a world where next week we have the Fed meeting and the Fed comes out hawkish, and then we have a retracement. And, you have it where whenever you have a huge rally and people get super bullish, they get euphoric. Like, I think Kyle Stockgoat was like posting like how SoFi could be bigger than JP Morgan. And
he's getting a little excited on Twitter. Just a little.
And I was just like, dude, like let us enjoy 8 and then let us enjoy 10 if it gets there. And so, but for that same cohort of people, just as many people double down on their bearish takes and post charts to say, oh, like this is a bear market rally and all that stuff. So I do think that it's going to be important next week to see what the Fed does, because while SoFi is getting a lot of attention, I mean, I made a video this week around SoFi being one of the most traded options contracts, which is absolutely wild, because I think this was on Wednesday. The other names were like Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple, which are obviously, it makes sense, like $1 trillion companies, huge market caps. And then you have itsy bitsy SoFi there with just this massive amount of volume of people showing interest in the stock. Those people are going to be out just as quickly as they're in now. Like, there's swing traders, there's momentum traders, there's a whole bunch of options traders. And so I just think that I'm skeptical. I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's put it like that.
Okay,
that's a good point.
Tannor, your thoughts on the price action?
It was fast. Like, I think someone in my live earlier today was just talking about how it's kind of hard to DCA in these prices because the price action was so fast, and it's not correlated with fundamentals. We have a 16-year-old Riley here. Go ahead, Riley.
Oh, Riley, why do you look like you're you listen to Paramore and you just
Justin Bieber on the stream?
You're muted.
Muted in StreamYard.
Who's Paramore?
Oh my god.
My hair is the longest it's ever been, and it just looks crazy. So I've been.
You look crazy.
Yeah, why don't you tuck it in the hat then? It won't look.
No, I like this look. This is way better. This is like an emo look. It's cooler.
Yeah.
Steve, did you say who's Paramore? You don't know? You never heard? You are the only exception. You never heard that song?
We're gonna
before?
get DMCA'd because of how good that was.
Have you ever been in love, Steven? Like, what the fuck? Have you?
Well, I don't know who Paramore is. Sorry, shoot me. Are they new?
No, motherfucker. They're like an iconic band.
He got so offended.
Iconic? Doubt
Yes,
that.
you have to like be in love and listen to their songs. Like, live a life a little. Life's not always about seeking alpha articles and stocks. Goodness.
Now, if you had said Metallica or something like that, Metallica's iconic.
I've never even heard a Metallica song. All right, Tanner, go ahead. Continue.
Stop.
Continue. I really have. I cannot name one Metallica song. I really don't.
What?
Have you ever been to a sporting event?
Yes.
Okay, you've heard
You
of
can't
Metallica.
list.
Wait. Is that
wait.
song "Welcome to the Jungle" from Metallica?
That's Guns
No.
N' Roses.
Guns N'
Okay,
Roses.
wait. You can't name one Metallica song?
Yes, seriously. One?
Not one.
There's
I'm
one that
honestly,
plays at every
I
sporting
don't listen
event.
to heavy metal or any
You
of that.
can't.
Shit. Like,
You can't name one.
oh, one. That's the name of the song.
There you go. Okay, you got it.
Okay. There you go.
Good hint. I was going to say Enter Sandman plays at like every sporting event.
Yeah. No, you didn't pick up on the joke, and you don't know what Paramore.
Oh, I picked up
Paramore
on the
is.
joke. That's why I went like that. Stop giving them hints.
Yeah, Metallica is
Steven's aggressive
1,000%
today.
bigger than
You gotta
Paramore.
back off.
1,000%.
I don't wanna talk
Okay,
Sure.
no, but
Cash
okay.
App.
So here's the question: do you guys did you guys have a Michael Jackson phase where you fell in love with his music, or no? That never happened.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I didn't walk around wearing a single glove like you do on streams.
Okay,
but
I don't do that anymore. Okay, I tell you, that was a phase. That's a phase. But I think Michael Jackson's still the GOAT. Like, he's the greatest of all time when it comes to music. And there's no... All right,
The
Tanner. Again,
greatest- wait, hold on. What are we talking about here? Like,
We're having a music stream.
We're talking about
This is
music,
this is
okay?
the
no,
so
that's
you
not
have
what I mean. But you say Michael Jackson, the greatest of all time of what?
in music, like, it's bar none. Music, he's the GOAT. He's better than the Beatles, better than fucking Prince. I don't even know how people make a debate
honestly,
between him and Prince.
I'm
Honestly,
totally with you there, Amit. I'm
Billy
on your
Joel
team.
has so many more hits than Michael Jackson.
Billy
so just
Joel?
cut it off.
yo, Billy Joel is amazing. I don't know what you guys.
Amazing.
So like when you name top like most recognizable names on the planet, you've got
Mhm.
like Michael Jackson,
No,
Jesus Christ.
Okay, most recognizable and the more hits are two different things.
Isn't,
No, I'm
isn't
talking
there
about
like
impact,
legitimately?
overall impact. to
Isn't there a
society.
diamond award like above platinum? I think there's a diamond one, isn't there? And it's been awarded to like 2 different artists, and Michael Jackson is one of them.
Wow, someone actually went
Yeah,
to a
isn't
concert here
Diamond
and
like
that.
10 million sales for an album?
I think it's 20 million. He got it on Thriller.
When
Or,
he
or
died
maybe,
in
maybe
2009.
it's 10 million, and he got it twice.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Someone has to ban Charles. He's in one of your streams. Someone get rid of this guy. We're not tolerating Taylor Swift. Goodness.
I mean, there's an argument. I don't listen to Taylor
Tanner,
Swift.
just because your
There's an
girlfriend
argument.
likes Taylor Swift doesn't mean you
Dude,
can.
she's
I'm going to
just
say
fine.
I didn't realize how big she was until the other week when my coworker took her daughter to the concert up in
for like 20 grand.
Boston. Don't ask. And sent me a video of all these people outside that did not have tickets that were all dressed up in different eras of her and just outside during it was crazy. It was like a tailgating college football event.
Okay,
James is
let's
asking,
get back
who
to
is
SoFi
Michael
before
Jackson?
everyone leaves. So Tanner, you said it was really fast. Okay, Steve, what was your thoughts on the SoFi price action this week?
I said it's going to 10 before the end of the year. I need another $1.82.
Okay.
Steven, are you still
But
buying?
look, if it goes down a little, I won't be surprised. The DCAing, look, it depends what your cost basis is. You may have people that are into it for 15, where buying right now drops them a couple of bucks. I mean, nobody can predict the future. A lot's going to ride on next week. Nobody know. Can somebody bring up the FedWatch tool? What's it at? I didn't look at it today.
So yeah, let's ask the real question, because I think it's a better indicator of like, what do you think of the move? Who is still buying at this point? Because I can make both arguments. I think personally, for me, I would need to average up at this point. And I think that from what we've known for SoFi, I think a pullback would be healthy. And right now, the market is still in a place where there are a lot of other opportunities out there that are not as recovered as SoFi is.
And I would agree with that. If the Fed pauses, which it looks like they're going to do, you could get a rally. So the other day, I think I discussed this with Amit, I looked at the top 10 holdings in the S&P 500 and looked at the analyst estimates for earnings going out to 2026, because that's where the drop off is. A lot of the biggest companies such as Apple, Microsoft have 30 to 40 analysts with projections for next year. It drops down to the 20s for 2025, and then in the high teens for 2026. And then afterwards, one or two have given further down projections. These companies have significant earnings growth ahead of them per the analyst projections. If you get a Fed pause and inflation happens to come down, which it all depends on oil, OPEC is cutting, so we got to see what happens there. But if earnings play out the way the analysts are projecting, it's going to be a tide that lifts all ships. And if we get a pause and things go right and we start getting cuts early 2024, the market could go ballistic.
Yeah,
but things have to fall into place.
Yeah, but Stephen, like that is, I think, the base case that's in the back of everybody's mind right now. And what we know, I mean, if you've been in the market for longer than a year, generally speaking, when everybody expects something to happen, it won't happen. And what we also know is historically, the Fed has a tendency to change their mind last minute. They've done it with different hikes as well. And it always correlates with how the market is doing. And we've had a significant rally over the past 2 to 3 weeks. And I think that there is a case to be made for the Fed to hike another 0.25, even though maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the consensus was a pause. The fact that we've had such a strong rally may signal to the Fed that they might have just a little bit of juice left to hike. And I think that might blindside a lot of people next week.
Yeah, we need to see what the Fed does next week. Nobody knows what they're going to do. If they hike, the market is going to sell off, most likely. If they don't hike, it's going to rally. And the Fed may not want it to rally, but I don't think we're going into a recession. I can tell you that much. Doesn't feel like it. You need 2 quarters of negative GDP growth to go into a recession. That is a recession, period.
Correct.
Now, what could derail things? You have student loans coming back, which impacts SoFi positively, but it could impact the economy negatively because now you have X amount of borrowers that may or may not have been saving or may or may not built a new expense into their bills. We're going to need to see what happens after they come back.
Okay, so
and that could hurt consumer sentiment.
Okay, so let's get into some topic-specific news. Let's start with the first piece of news. Riley, you want to intro this, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, so SoFi had a lot of heat earlier this year. I think around in March, Noto filed a lawsuit with the Department of Education saying it's illegal to continue the student loan moratorium. Soon after, though, we all realized that the student loan moratorium is ending. So because of that, SoFi dropped their lawsuit like they said they would. So good news, I guess.
Should never have put it up.
Yeah, they should never have even touched it, I think. It just created a lot of ill will, I guess, with investors and people that are also members. So, but this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of people on Twitter that really don't understand, like, as a shareholder of, well, SoFi had to do it. Dude, the average consumer does not care about how the bank is making profits. They do not care at all. What they care about is this bank out to get me or are they my friend? You know what I mean? And going after, they're saying, well, we would have made $400 million if student loans came back, is we feel entitled to those student loans. Right? That does not give a good feeling. And that's why we got so many negative reviews during this time. I don't care what the comments or Twitter posts say. That's the truth. It was so pointless. And they wanted to put their hand in, in the debate when it was already getting done. And them saying that, anyway, it all had to do because the actual Supreme Court said there's no actual victims that are coming out. So SoFi said, okay, we'll be that victim. You did not need to be. You hurt yourself as a brand, and it was pointless.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think the good news is like the common person doesn't really know what's going on anyways. They just try to ignore it. So it's not too bad, but I'm glad it's over with. SoFi at work though.
It's SoFi real quick. Is SoFi at work? Oh, this is about student loan payment. Okay, so this piggybacks off of the student loan case. So go ahead.
Dude, this is the coolest thing for anybody watching. If you would just pause this video and screenshot this, it explains to you exactly what's happening. So basically, what happened was Congress passed the Securing a Strong Retirement Act called Secure 2.0. This law includes a provision that allows employers to match their employees' student loan repayments as contributions to the employees' retirement plans, meaning companies all over America are incentivized to help students pay off their student debt by matching their contributions like to their student debt from their paychecks. So this will help everybody. This will help the student that has too much student debt and it feels like it's just they're struggling to survive and they can't even save for their retirement because they have so much debt in their 20s. This helps companies because their employees that are not like worried about their student debt are better employees, and also they get tax write-offs for doing this as well. So it's all good. And SoFi at work is like the only like company out there that's doing this on a big scale. I haven't done research into competition, but I just don't see anybody being as big as SoFi in this area. It's going to be really cool. And there's another slide a little further down that shows like people that we've already partnered with and we have made portals with. That one. So like SoFi at work is accessible to like all these huge companies: Tesla, Microsoft, GM, IBM, even Apple too. Like whenever
Riley, the goal here is that if you work at a large company and you have a decent salary, which are the people that are applying for these loans at SoFi or refinancing, SoFi is like, okay, we're going to work with Tesla so that even though you're paying off your student loans, Tesla's doing a matching contribution.
Yeah.
And where does that matching contribution go? Does it go to the 401k or?
It's like the 401k. It behaves kind of like the 401k, but the 401k in this case is their student loans. So Tesla can help their employees pay off their student debt with this tool called SoFi at work.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think they're matching their student loan payments to a retirement account.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't think it's a sped up.
So hold on. So if I pay $500 a month, Tesla will match that, and where will they put that 500?
Well, Tesla could have their own like.
They get to choose the rate and what qualifies. So you don't know what the percentage. It could be a 20% match. They haven't been specifying exactly what the match is. That's for the actual employers to choose, right? I'm not an American, so I don't even know what kind of tax accounts you guys actually have.
So Tannor, why do you think this would benefit SoFi, Matt? Creating SoFi at work, what's the upside here for them?
More transaction volume. That would probably be the biggest. It's just another thing that you can work with more contributors. Maybe there's a company right now that's searching out group benefit programs, and I don't know necessarily if SoFi is the biggest. I don't know what the competitors are in America for group benefits. I mean, even the company that I work for, mainly here in Canada, is a massive player in group benefits as well. And one of the things that we do is that they get onto a very similar app. Once they're on that app, they can cross-sell very easily into other products. So that's also what's exciting, is that these group benefit members are probably in a similar app, if not the same SoFi app, in order to actually deal with a lot of these benefits.
Yeah, and it's tremendous for brand value because every person, every party associated with SoFi at work will win, or they'll be getting something good out of it. And especially if like you're working at a 9-to-5 job and SoFi, this tool that you're accustomed to logging on every 2 weeks when you get your paycheck, shows you how much your student loan is going down. It's gonna be like tremendous benefits, especially like if they're targeting like these cool companies like Tesla and Microsoft and young people. Hopefully this like transitions their brand for them to like download the banking app, which would be really good for us.
EK said, does SoFi manage the transaction? So the way that I understand it is, no, they don't necessarily host the transaction for student loans, but they do all the reporting and actually see whether or not that it's an eligible payment or not. And then obviously for the retirement account, what I'm assuming is that that's a SoFi branded retirement account. So in that case, they do handle the transaction And that's probably also tied to Galileo as well. So it's the matching part that we're actually benefiting from, not the outbound student loan, which 90+% of the time will be a federally paid student loan. So this is not just a student loan verification for the SoFi private loans. This is for the student loan category in general.
Steven, any thoughts on this?
He wasn't paying attention.
He's farming. You're
He's
muted.
farming.
You're still muted.
You're muted in StreamYard. Yeah, there you go. You're still muted.
And now your actual mic is muted. What did you do to your mic? It was just working.
Is it flashing on the front? Look on the front of your thing. Is it flashing?
Okay, now we good? Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Amit, you're just gonna have to come out and just set my fucking office up anyway.
No,
Why
how
you
about
ask? When has Amit ever helped you? I help you every single time. He told you to talk into the top. Why are you talking to Amit here?
Because I don't think you're driving down from Canada.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
Steven,
Amit can
what
take
you
care
should
of it.
do-
He just has to go over a bridge.
You guys
Steven, I
can
have an
FaceTime me
idea.
when you get
I
there.
have an idea. How about every Friday night you do SoFi Weekly and Pound Tree Weekly? You drive over to my house, and we both do it from my house every Friday night. And we can.
His mom will answer the door.
Every Friday night is a little bit of a stretch,
Why?
but I think we can make that happen.
Just drive on over. We'll both be here. We'll have some cookies, some milk. White van will be outside. And
Yeah, there you go.
Only if there's a white van and we go get Chris Patel.
I can just imagine Amit's parents opening the door, and it's just like this, like, you know, whatever, 34-year-old white man, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah.
And he's like,
They're
"I'm here to
like-
see Amit."
They're like, we're fine with our internet service, and start closing the door.
He's like, we don't want solar.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Steve's like, I'm
is
here for the
great
cowbell.
for brand recognition. And look, a lot of companies, small businesses, medium-sized, large businesses, a lot of them do some type of reimbursement for college tuition. Like, this is a very big bonus.
Yeah, I mean, group benefits are amazing. Like the employee stickiness is super important, right? Employers need to keep around, a large percentage of their great hires, and they've realized that just going after salary is not enough for people, because they look at dental or a bunch of these other expenses as extra expenses or retirement matching, and they don't actually just see that as a regular salaried bonus. So it's actually funny how they do a mix of both salary and group benefits to be sort of show an ultimate offering, even though it's the same thing as just considering one employee at a certain salary. But
Yeah, and
Anyway.
in addition, you have HR departments that are actively adding different types of discounts to the group benefits, whether it's a rate off on cell phones from Verizon or AT&T, up and down the line. So HR departments work tirelessly to create the best environment, because these companies are in competition with everybody else. They all have to be competitive in what they're offering. What the hell are you guys smirking at?
I don't even know. What
I'm not smart.
It's like they're having a private chat somewhere.
Tevis.
You're just not in the private chat.
Oh, that's fine.
Riley's laughing.
Evis is on the verge of cracking up. See, there we go.
I just answered the chats, man. Just
Yo, Tevis, bro, you can literally say pudding in the chat, and Tevis will fucking like smirk. Like, it's so easy to make this motherfucker laugh. Okay, can we talk about the
it's because I'm
200?
not supposed to be laughing. That's the thing that like makes me laugh more. I'm supposed to.
Tevis will go to a comedy club and he'll be like dying of laughter, and the guy's like barely singing. Can we talk about the $200 billion TAM that Noto just name dropped on CNBC of student loan refinancing that he says they're well positioned to take over? I've never heard this number before. Where do you think he came up with that? And does SoFi have an opportunity to capture some of that? What do you guys think?
It's exciting. It's not that exciting.
It's
So-
$200 billion.
It's $200
How's that
billion
not
of
exciting?
originations.
So why is that still not exciting?
That is exciting. It is exciting, but like we're expecting to do probably 1% of that per quarter.
What
So
if
we
do
are
2%
capturing
of that?
Yeah, I mean,
Because that was his
potentially.
point, right? His point was like, we can capture a lot more of that market.
Yeah, I think mainly that what he was saying, it'll be much, much more than that. What he's saying is the $200 billion number is actually a really small number compared to what it can be once rates start falling. What he was saying is that there's still a large amount of people that are still in the money. So 200 is going to turn into 1 trillion very quickly as rates actually start falling, right? But it's because those loans are actually still either at high rates or sorry, low rates, where, you know, the students would still prefer to just keep the rates that they had from 2-3 years ago, rather than refinancing into a much larger rate that SoFi couldn't offer. So there are a bunch of people that do need a refi that we could actually offer at a cheaper rate, but that's, you know, not everyone. That's why people are not super excited about SoFi student loans just in this market, because it's not necessarily the macro environment for it. Student loans, home loans do better on rates going down. Personal loans and these sorts of things do better on rates going up, because of debt consolidation going up and refinancing, you know, and actually just getting a student loan on it actually going down. Something like this would be much better for those types of products.
But Tannor, remember, if you look at the Fed dot plot, rate decreases are going to be here before you know it. 2024, they're cutting. It's not that far away. We're going to be in the middle of June next week.
No, I know. I think the all I'm saying is that what Anthony Noto said, that 200 billion, is just telling people that, you know, once August 30th actually comes, and people actually refinance much earlier than that. They know the date is coming up, so they get ahead of it. But
he's saying it's a big market. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. We still have people to go after.
And they're going to continuously have people to go after, because people are going to keep going to college.
Yes. And at higher and higher costs of education.
That's a whole nother topic that we can spend hours on. It's ridiculous.
I read your article showing off the number. What was it, like between 2006 and 2021? Honestly, you know what's so funny, Steven, is I didn't even tell you about this. I should have texted you. But like whenever I'm doing some research and I'll use like ChatGPT browsing or something like this to help with things that I'm looking for. And I don't know if you guys have used it, but it'll cite its sources. I've gotten multiple times Seeking Alpha articles written by Steven from ChatGPT. Yeah, I swear to God.
Oh, wow.
They use Seeking Alpha as like a trusted source, which I kind of find
should not be doing that.
I know. I agree. I agree.
No, in all seriousness, they should be using the hyperlinks that somebody such as myself embeds in the article, because that's where I took the information from.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not the analysis. That's just the raw facts. Your article is the actual analysis. That's what ChatGPT cares about in terms of answering a question.
Yeah, but I'm taking the numbers from somewhere, so it depends on what you're looking for.
That's true.
But
That's true.
they shouldn't be citing my article for raw numbers. They're not my numbers. They should be citing the source that I used for it. But regardless,
there's improvements to be made, but still, it was one of your articles back from like 2021 showing off the quadrupling in education costs from 2006 to 2019, I think, and the actual total debts quadrupled.
Yeah, it's actually a sad situation, and they could fix it so easily. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. They could fix it in 10 minutes if they wanted to.
Okay, let's move on to this. Riley, you want to introduce this one for us?
So this is kind of old news, but kind of like a refresh here. So Noto just responded either today or yesterday, and just basically confirming that SoFi Plus is going to be direct deposit agnostic, meaning you do not have to have a direct deposit to be able to access all the rewards that come with SoFi. This will increase our member growth. More people will be eligible, more people will be interested, more people will share the app. It's just really, really good, and it's cool that Noto's been constantly telling us that it's about to come out. Excited.
Tevis, any thoughts on this one?
No, I mean we've talked about this in the past as well. It's just a reiteration.
If you want to go to the last slide, honestly, yeah, these are some SoFi headwinds. I'm like kind of astonished by how many things that are coming together and converging. Like we have so much stuff that's about to come into our laps with SoFi. Student loans, the resumption's coming. Credit cards, we tons of people have been hired by SoFi to do this. Home loans, we just bought like a big company.
Sorry, do you mean tailwinds?
It should say tailwinds.
Oh, tailwinds, yeah. Tailwinds.
These are all terrible for us.
Oh, so a headwind is good, a tailwind is bad.
Opposite.
No, a tailwind is bad, a headwind is good.
No.
No, a tailwind is good because it makes the price go up.
No,
So-
just think about running. Whenever there's a whenever there's wind hitting your face, you're going slower. If it's hitting your back, you're going faster.
No, I thought of it as like
No,
headwind.
No. I don't care how you thought it. That's
No, I'm just trying to tell you. I thought like headwind was good because it is like getting headwind. So there was a.
No, it's like literally an airplane term.
Yeah,
like,
and getting tail is bad.
I'm just,
Oh,
Your
Oh, God.
analogy
all right.
follows
Anyway,
through.
I actually missed that, and I'm glad I did.
Steve,
You
just
always
looks
with always with these terrible jokes. However, I saw your joke recently. I was just listening back, and that Prime joke that you said with Chris got no love, and it's so funny.
It was great. It was a great joke. You know, I used that. You know, okay. So let me tell you guys a little story. Okay, so I had just broken up with my girlfriend. This was in 2018, and I'm back on the dating scene. Okay. And so I messaged this girl on. This is the first time I DM a girl. I didn't even know like how to DM a girl, and she responds. I was like, "Holy shit, this works! The Instagram's fucking goated." And then I made some joke. I was like, you know, like I made some joke about Amazon Prime and her being pretty or something, but it connected with Amazon Prime. And she ended up saying yes, and we went out to get dinner that night. It happened Friday morning. We went out Friday night. So that Prime joke, I don't remember what I did last time with that joke, but it works every time, in my opinion, in any scenario.
You said the Prime joke that I'm talking about was you talking about whether you were going to get paid in 2 days rather than one.
Yeah, and with her, fuck, I'm gonna look up the DM right now. I probably had it from like 5
I am
years ago.
so sorry for interrupting you, Riley, with that headwind, knowing that we're now into this rabbit hole. Please continue.
All right, I'm gonna find the DM. Go ahead. I'm gonna show
Mitt
it
loves talking
publicly.
about
Go
how
ahead.
many girls he gets, and it's a
I don't get any
sad
girls
reality.
anymore. So I don't get any girls, but okay, go ahead, continue.
Dude, in summary, I'm just excited. Everything, like a year ago, it was hard to kind of like justify like SoFi's bull case and strategy because like we had a lot to develop and do before we got to somewhere where we're able to really confidently just show how amazing this company's doing and executing. But like everything's coming and about to be firing on all cylinders, and it's really, really cool that we're like just on the cusp of them just being able to blow up and be able to take advantage of different opportunities just based on a whim whenever they have the money, the capital, and all these different segments just firing on full blast. So it's just like a really exciting time. If you really understand SoFi and what they're trying to do, it's really cool to see like just everything converging in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, it's almost like
Yes,
Tanner's
stay
dropping
on
a
that
video
for a
this
minute.
weekend about it.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Like really think about what Riley just said, because this is a company that has continuously grown its revenue, grown its EBITDA, and there's always been an impediment in the way. Nothing has ever just worked. They've always had to pivot. They've always had to do something else. And it's going to end up benefiting them so much because when they're firing on all cylinders for a couple of quarters in a row, I think that we're going to be surprised with the growth. I really do.
Do you guys think we could get Gap profitable before Q4?
That's
Man,
Tevis's.
we've been saying this for so
theory.
They
long.
said by Q4, which means that
It's
at
Q3.
some point in Q3, they will be Gap profitable, whether that's the entire Q3 or not. But they may, on the Q3 conference call, say, for the last month, we've been Gap profitable and we are projecting Q4 Gap profitable. What are you laughing at?
I'm just looking at Mitt. I'm just imagining he's still fucking scrolling back to like 2016, the last time he like talked to a girl.
It wasn't fucking the last time I talked to a girl, but I need to
That
find
is
it, bro.
so
It was a good
on a
message.
live stream, you blanketly scrolling through your DMs is such a nightmare to me.
I need to find it, bro. It was such a
Dude,
good.
it's going to be worse of a joke. You always
No,
think
because
you're-
there's some kid.
memory,
First of all, there is a 18-year-old kid right now that's watching, that's about to go to college, and they probably need some game, okay? And they're gonna use this line.
I mean, you
No,
know
what
that's
they
not true.
need-
You know your
They need to
demographic.
understand what they're signing up for. We're taking on student loans, and it really needs to be taught more in high school, and we need to do a better job of preparing young adults for the hard facts of life.
Okay. Understood.
So here's the thing, though. Like, here's the contrarian take, or here's the slightly more bearish point of view. All those things that Riley highlighted there are solid tailwinds. They have, number one, different timelines to come to fruition. Some of them are, Q2 or Q3. Some of them are 2024. Some of them are beyond that. First of all, and second of all, we know in the short term right now, it's fueled by the macro and it's fueled by psychology. And I'm seeing it on Twitter, man, all the time. Like, people are euphoric way too quickly, not only about SoFi, but about all the names. So I'm just saying that while the company, from a fundamentals perspective, may keep chugging along quarter after quarter, continuously improving, it won't necessarily be a one-to-one correlation with the stock, because the stock can retrace significantly in the short term if the macro sours. The stock can become overvalued in the short term if SoFi shoots up to 15, let's say, right? And then it's overvalued in the short term. There's so many different things that, like, the volatility of the stock right now, it's on steroids. While we're talking about the underlying company, which is great because, I mean, that's really the only measurable thing. But right now, people are not really looking at the underlying company, in my opinion. Like, the student loan resumption could have fueled the move from 450 to 6, but like, we almost hit 9 today, right? I think that there's so much more, and it becomes a compounding effect. The more it goes up, the more people are going to expect it to go up, the more short-term traders are going to get in, the more they're going to try to ride that momentum. And that's when it becomes a slippery slope in the short term.
But I think even if that happens, all that does is that when it inevitably crashes from all that speculation, it'll crash at a new low, like consolidated at a new place versus at $5-6, right? Maybe $7.
Sure. Higher lows.
Yeah,
like 650, 7, I think. Sure, it'll form a new base.
Go ahead, admit he's literally itching. I can see his face.
No, what? I didn't say. I was
like
talking
crazy.
SoFi. I was responding to Tevis. What are you talking about?
I know. Go ahead.
Okay, so here are the DMs. So I said, hey. She said, hey. I said, this is September 10th, 2018. Okay.
2018?
Yeah,
this is 5 years ago.
Yeah,
this is the last time you spoke to a girl.
The fact that you just found text messages from 5 years ago.
This is on Instagram. It's not in my actual message. Instagram stores everything. That's not my fault.
He remembers a DM that he sent 5 years
well, that's
ago.
the other thing.
This is the activity this man gets.
That's literally the last one that said yes to him, probably. Continue, Amit.
Go ahead, Amit.
Okay. So I said, how's your rainy day going? She said the buses are wild, but they're not bad because Rutgers was a really big campus. We had a ton of buses. Okay. So I said, I had to argue with the driver just to let me sit on. It was rough. She said, LOL, rainy days are prime profit days for Uber and Lyft drivers. I will say it again. She says, rainy days are prime profit days for Uber and Lyft drivers. That's actually a good economical argument. Then I said, true. I mean, I guess you work at Amazon because every day is prime pretty for you. And then I say, tell me that made you smile. If it did, a night out with me would make you laugh since I'm hilarious. And she's like, LOL, that did make me smile. We should hang out. And then, the rest is history from there. So.
That was the cringiest thing I've ever heard.
Are you playing that from your Steven? Or is that actually?
No,
I was
like
like
somebody's background.
It was Tevis.
Like the cops are going to get me.
Dude, if you're
You think I'm that sophisticated to do that? I don't have a soundboard.
Hold on, let me look into the camera for this. If you are an 18-year-old watching SoFi Weekly Podcast,
you better use that.
Do not fucking use that line. It is horrible,
bro. You guys don't realize. Girls like quirky. Like, I was out on a date once. We were getting sushi, and the guy brought out miso soup, and I was like, oh wow, me so happy. She started cracking up, bro. She started dying like that. Like, this is how you get women. Okay, this is how it works. Anyway,
yeah.
SoFi.
What else should I do, Amit?
Well, you have a girlfriend. You don't need to worry. You're good. This is for the people who don't, have a girlfriend.
Who don't already have game like me. What did you say? Me so hungry? What did you say?
No, I said me so happy because I got miso soup. Like, that was like. Riz, exactly. That was Riz. Steve, have you heard of this word Riz at all?
What the hell is Riz?
Yeah, Steven, guess what Riz is. Let's I want to hear this.
I have no idea.
What do you think it is? In the context of this conversation, what do you think Riz is?
It's something growth investors would know. Go ahead.
He has no clue. So Riz
No
is basically your ability to attract the opposite sex. To,
It's short
like,
from charisma.
hang out.
Just
It's
to
great.
made it up.
Isn't that
Oh,
called game
really?
to normal
Short
people?
for charisma?
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So
Cool.
Riz. That's what the kids are saying.
They couldn't just say game like the generation before them. They had to create a
Yeah,
new
they have to
word.
come up with no.
Tevis,
new
don't
word.
be the person that just wails on the younger generation. We're too young.
Okay, so I guess is there anything else in the context of did you guys see Anthony Noto's interview with CNBC and anything any
Yes.
takeaways from
It
there?
was
Tanner?
excellent.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I literally forget what he said, so maybe someone can help me because I actually live streamed it, but now I'm forgetting. They had this terrible audio that took up like 40% of the live stream.
I just listened to Tanner's live right before I came on, and towards the end, like Noto was saying, like all 7 of our major products are profitable alone on themselves, and that's just like right. They're just like he said many times in the past like 6 months. Like the only thing in the way of SoFi as of right now is themselves, because everything is starting to work finally in their favor. So yeah, it just like great news, like always. I'm so tired of great news.
That reminds me of a video that I'm putting out this weekend that's going to cover SoFi's ecosystem. Okay, never mind.
Wow.
That I hope everyone sees on my
Steve,
channel.
what were your thoughts on Steve? Yeah, everyone go watch Tanner's video. Steve, what were your thoughts on the CNBC interview? You're muted, bro.
Jesus Christ. I think you guys are going to know what I'm going to say. I think the more that Noto goes on CNBC or Bloomberg or the Yahoo Finance Network, the better. Tevis, you would crack in an interrogation so quickly.
Oh yeah, I'm shit at poker.
Yeah, we should play poker. I would love to play poker with you. Anyway, the story needs to get out there and the narrative needs to change. They're not just a student loan company. And the more that Noto goes on, look, people dislike Jim Cramer. People like Jim Cramer. He has the most CEOs and CFOs on Mad Money, and they are good interviews. They are insightful, and it's important for CEOs and CFOs and C-suite to go on these networks and explain what is going on at their company. And if they don't, the only time that you get any real information is during the earnings calls. So to me, I love when the C-suite goes on these networks. I think it's very positive.
Yeah, I think I love that he's on the Jim Cramer Mad Money show a lot. And what's crazy is like, I don't know, if he was this bad of an investor and it wasn't working on Mad Money, Jim Cramer wouldn't be around. But that show gets so many views. It's crazy. And the fact that SoFi keeps showing up is not only going to entice more shareholders. What I think is most exciting is enticing more customers. That's really the exciting part is the brand awareness for the bank side.
Yeah. Tanner, answer your DMs, by the way. Stock Goat is telling you to answer your DMs.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, stock
Sweet.
goats.
Could we get, is he going to come on?
Yeah,
right now?
he's coming on, baby.
Let's go.
Right now?
Right now.
Dude, no way.
I told him to defend his $500 price target. I said we could have a great conversation.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Whoa.
this is going to be a good show. Thank you so
Wait,
much
what
for messaging
does
in
that
the
put the
chat.
market cap at?
Before
1
he
trillion.
comes on, did y'all talk about oh my gosh. Chris's $100 price target for SoFi?
No, he's at $100 billion company.
$100 billion company. Okay.
Chris,
You
who?
got that from me, by the way.
Chris Patel.
Isn't
Yeah,
a
Chris is
$100 billion
very-
company basically $100 stock price?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think SoFi is pretty close to $1 equals $1 billion.
Yeah. So sure. Very close. Yeah, it's wild. When I saw
All right, guys, we got a guest. We got him in.
Yeah.
We have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stock Goat.
Hey,
How's
What's
it going?
up, man? Everyone has been asking for this for months, so we're happy
Yeah.
you're finally here.
what's up,
Cal.
guys?
How are
Holy
things?
he was the OG. He's been the YouTube king of SoFi for how do you mind telling us how long you've been like watching this company?
probably. I mean, since the like 90, 120 days before they went to the market.
Wow. It's been a rough It's been a rough few years for you, huh?
Oh crap! I gotta turn the live off that I'm watching.
Oh yeah, you hear
Oh.
that?
Everyone always has one
The
on
big
that, yeah.
echo.
Okay, cool.
Kyle,
Yeah.
walk us through this SoFi bigger than JP Morgan thing. I saw you put a video out earlier today, but I didn't have a chance to watch the full video.
So when I do like videos like that, it's really to get people's attention. That's like the number one thing, of course. Like I'm trying to get as many impressions as possible, keep spreading the word, because people see videos like that, they're going to keep doing research and they'll start looking into it, and stuff like that. But I don't ever disclose like the exact date, like, time frame. I make people think about it. But this, I think I came up with like, I think it was 7 years or something like that. And it mostly has to do with like the users. Like that's where I was trying to get these price targets from the users, which I think they could break like 30 million by that time. But so it's definitely gonna have to get a kind of like a bubbly valuation for sure. Like the PE a little high, but like right now, I think we're still in like kind of bubble valuation with like a bunch of stocks, right? Like Nvidia, 200 PE. Amazon, what are we at? 150 to 200 or something like that. And I think to get to that 500 would be what, 470 billion. And I think the revenue,
448 billion in change.
okay,
It's a 61x.
Yeah, that's crazy. But revenue compounded 30%, 15 billion, 40% profit margin, 6 billion, which is, it's not crazy, but it's like a PE of like 70, 60, 70, something like that. So I know that seems high compared to the banks, but you got these companies like a Tesla separated themselves from the gasoline companies, Amazon from the retail. So all these companies are separating themselves from these legacy companies, and that's where you get your bubbly valuation. And that's the time to sell is when it happens, stuff like that. So it's not crazy. It's not 1,000 PE or 2,000, 60, 70 on a 40% profit margin, 7 years out.
Well, you also said you were looking at SoFi at 30 million users, which I could actually see. I mean, I do think that the large masses are going to be shifting this way, especially with international expansion as well. And then also an average product count, I think you said, of 2 to 3 per user.
Yeah.
I even think that's probably shy. I think as we develop, I think we're at 1.5 right now. Noto said for 18 months, that's probably going to stay very similar. After that, it's going to start ranking up pretty quickly. So,
Remember,
go ahead.
to get that type of valuation, you're going to have more assets and deposits than JP Morgan. And right now, JP Morgan's assets are 3.74 trillion.
Well, I don't think you need more deposits than JP Morgan to have a market cap larger than JP Morgan. But I'm not saying it's going to be larger than JP Morgan. I'm just stating that's not necessarily the case.
JP Morgan could also be doubled in 7 years or tripled,
Okay, fair. So from where it is now, I think it's going to be hard pressed to get a larger market cap than Bank of America and JP Morgan if they're not in the same realm with assets and deposits, because that's going to tie to their earnings and revenue.
Yeah, I think it's going to be also, I mean, it's interesting, Kyle, that you see it all, like you use the PE as your sort of base metric, because for me, I was looking at it from a member's perspective. Like, so for example, if SoFi is $8 billion now in market cap and they have 5.5 million members, something like that, JP Morgan right now has 66 million members. So even if SoFi were to do a 10x, let's even say 10x in terms of their market cap, that'll still put them at like 70, 80 billion if they have 50 some odd million members. So I think the member count, it's one reason why Robinhood is, valued higher than SoFi. And it's also a reason, I think that's like where the opportunity lies for SoFi, because of their flywheel. They can leverage that member so much more than somebody else can.
Yeah. Another thing is like because that APY came out today and it went a little higher. And I was just thinking about like, let's say JP Morgan, they did a 1% APY on their direct deposits. I mean, they'd be looking at like $10 billion a year on just like 1%. What's their profit? Like 50 billion or something like that. Imagine 10 billion just getting gutted, from their profits. They can't do it. They can't give a 1% APY because the dividends is just the banking standard. They got to stick to it, or their stocks are going to collapse if their dividends go away and they switch to APY to get more growth, bringing people like back in younger users. So I think they're kind of screwed. Like I want SoFi to do a dividend, but I mean, that probably won't be 7-10 years, from now, because they just want as many users growth as possible. And like dividends almost like a suicide mission. It's like it'll like double your APY to like 6-7 right now if they did a regular.
Yeah. I mean, look, the problem with dividends and buybacks is it happens when a company can't find a higher ROI for their money, first of all. And when you start that, it becomes so tough to sort of wean people off of that, because you have an entire base of investors that buy your stock strictly for the dividend. And so it limits your ability to be flexible as a company once you start paying that dividend, because not only do they buy your stock for the dividend, they expect that dividend to increase every year.
I got a question. Who here has like money in SoFi, like checking?
I do.
You do, okay.
Yeah. Primary bank for sure. Primary stock too, portfolio. So
me and Tevis are Canadian, so we don't even have the option.
I
don't, because most of my money goes to my business account, and if SoFi opened up a business account, I'd open it immediately. But
I think that's the same for you, right?
So I had the regular, and then I got upgraded to SoFi Plus like automatically. And I was getting the like 4% APY at the time, and it was like I think I was getting it for 2 or 3 months, and then they said, and I'm depositing thousands of dollars like every month, like for my business, and then they said, hey, if you don't deposit like this amount of money, you're gonna lose your APY, and then I don't know what happened because I still was depositing a lot of money. The APY disappeared. The 4, I lost it. And then like a month later, and right now, like I got it again. So it just like, it keeps going back and forth. And I don't like.
Did Noto respond to you about this, specifically about the direct deposit or?
No. But yeah, I got it, lost it. Now I got it again. So I saw he just posted to the
You have it again right now?
Yeah, I got it again. But it's just like, I don't like that because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like.
So Kyle, let me ask you this. Is it a fluctuating deposit? Because that could screw with their algorithm if it is.
Yeah, it is. It's, like maybe 3,000 here, 5,000 next month, 4,000, 6,000.
That's the only thing that I can think of, because most direct deposits are stagnant unless you get a raise.
Well, it's not a direct deposit. It's just me like
depositing.
He's just,
Venmo,
he's just transferring.
Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Stripe. There's payments coming in everywhere.
Yeah, I'm about to lose my SoFi Plus as well since I quit my job back in March. But they haven't taken it from me just yet. But
they don't give us requirements, like amounts of money. That's what I don't like. He needs to.
I thought it was $1,000 a month.
Was it 1,000?
It's that or something else, like whichever comes first. It's complex though, for sure. Their whole idea is trying to simplify that and make it more accessible to more people. They just got to make sure nobody can game the system, because if you just let anybody that doesn't have a SoFi direct deposit, it's going to hurt their lending, their ability to lend to more people, because they want to make sure that the money that is coming in frequently stays coming frequently, and that people don't just leave just to get the SoFi Plus for 3 months and then leave and put their money somewhere else to game the system. So it's all about that. I'm sure it's a hard problem to fix, but they say they've been working on it for a while. So
yeah, the other thing is
it's going to be very interesting next year when rates start coming down. And SoFi is going to be one of the only games in town because they do not have the overhead legacy banking systems have.
By the way, they raised it again. Hey, was it yesterday that they raised it to 4.3 for savings APY?
Yep. Yeah,
Another
but
thing is, I've been using the options like a lot, just trading them. And I mean, I've been on a hot streak like the last 2 weeks. Like, ridiculous. Like I do the same thing every day. I literally, I try to not hold overnight because you just don't know what's going to happen, and you just got to buy like, I buy 50 cents out of the money every time, and those are the weeklies, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, and I try to buy morning, and then they pump till 10:30, 11.
look at this. What a high average revenue per user client, eh?
And another thing is like, so if I could compare it to Robinhood versus SoFi right now, I'd give Robinhood like a 10, and I'd say SoFi is like a 7 because they don't have like the real time.
For the option specifically.
Yeah, they don't have the real time percentage change. Like I have to refresh it. Like it'll show me the price of the option as like in a cent form, but it won't give me the percentage gain. Like Robinhood's automatic. Like it always tells you that second. So that's one thing. And then the options are also backwards. So like when you open up Robinhood's, like I think it goes up, and then SoFi's goes down. So it kind of like
Interesting.
that's reversed too. So it's not bad, but I don't know if they want it to be like a Robinhood, where they want people trading like madmen and getting bad rep, and you know what I mean. So, but it's pretty good. I think I was doing both at the same time, just trying, and I give it a 7 out of 10.
Perfect.
Do you mind? Have you ever tried SoFi Travel since the product came out?
I've been really looking into it and getting on it, and actually like
it's really cool, isn't it? Like the UI is all streamlined.
Oh, I like it. It's
like no friction. I just tried it out today. It's like you can rent a car, you can book a hotel, you can book a flight, all from within the SoFi app. And so supposedly you just get points, and SoFi will make money in the future. But
yeah, it's really quick, really clean. They got the triple combo, the car, the plane, and the hotel all at once. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Everybody will go with, like, because it has everything. And then you could select breakfast, no breakfast, lunch, no lunch. And you get like 1 to 5 star, the rating of the hotel, and then you can get like the customer rating on top of the star rating. So it's got everything.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, the two things that we talked about, the SoFi Travel and then also the option tradings are very, very new products that SoFi has made, and they're actually like user friendly, which is like the app kind of sucks right now. We're hoping there's a big UI change and everything gets a little better.
The relay is my favorite. I love the relay. It's just like, it's so perfect of like showing you you're building your net worth.
The net worth, yeah. It's so cool seeing it go up and down, and I can see where I was like 6 months ago, and I feel good about myself. And
these guys are all sad up top.
No, we are. But I heard, and I believe this will be true as well, is that Relay, I think, will be the largest product count than any other product at SoFi. It's by far the fastest growing right now, and the truth is, it's maybe a better cross-selling product than SoFi Money.
Well, that's like one of their only products that has 0 barriers to entry. Like it doesn't cost you anything to open up a Relay account.
Yeah,
fair. Yeah,
and there's literally no competition other than YNAB and Mint. Which is crazy that
Mint's a pretty big player though.
Mint is pretty big. Yeah, they started like in 2008 when the iPhones came out. Like they're pretty big, but the fact that no bank,
I think they're owned by Intuit now as well.
Yeah, and it's just exciting to see like a bank do it first. So,
do you guys think deposits break 3 billion this quarter or no?
I don't believe so.
Noto said they were tracking 2 billion. Like that was their goal for Q2. I don't think they're going to deviate from that too heavily.
Yeah, because even like in the last call that he just did recently, the Piper Sandler one, he said they were tracking 2 billion. And if it like last time, whenever it was 2.7 billion, his wording was it's coming in the same as previous quarters, and then it was 2.7 billion.
There's if you've been watching CNBC, how they've been bashing the banks, APY, how they're like robbing customers. So that just happened like 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday actually. And then SoFi dropped the APY at the exact same time, the upgrade. And then you got 2 weeks left into the quarter. So they were probably seeing SoFi was getting a lot of review, like not like searches, impressions. And then that's why they bumped the APY up to like capitalize on the banks. Like,
Good point.
and then you got interactive brokers. They're always dropping commercials on CNBC. Have you been getting screwed by the banks? There's no reason to have money in banks right now, no APY. So it's just like, I feel like they raised it right these past 2 days because it's been a big topic on CNBC for some reason.
Yeah, I just don't know if like whenever he says, you know, we're tracking 2 billion, if they're at 2 billion now and then they have a chance to get another billion, or if they're just on that trajectory. So we might even be, you know, 1.5 right now or 1.4. Just we're gonna get there. So I don't know if like
Tannor, remember what he used to do for a living in his former life? This is a guy who understands exactly how analysts work. He's not going to come and fire from the hip. He's going to sandbag and beat as many times as possible.
He's a sandbag god.
I mean,
He
lot of
is.
like, do we have member count predictions? Like, do you guys think it's going to go over 500,000 this quarter again? Because I'm still on the side of no.
420.
420?
I think I don't think they're going to gear it up yet.
Yeah,
And neither do I.
that's a good point.
The profitability is when they, you know, they can throw another 5-10 million on the marketing for that portion.
I think you're going to see an influx when student loans come back, and maybe we start breaking 5 consistently a couple quarters into it if more people start using the platform.
Yeah, towards the back half of the year, I think it's going to be more relevant because of student loans and home loans. And at that point, you're going to have a pause in rates. So they're probably going to crank up that marketing spend if they expect rates to go down.
It's wild. There's going to be a huge boom on SoFi once refi starts happening. There's no way that they're not going to just throw so much advertising dollars into this, being so that it's been in spread butter over a decade. So
did y'all look
it's
at
happening at the best time, football season?
Did you look at the Chris's guy's full article, like towards the end where he put the numbers out? Everybody looked at that.
I saw I don't know the exact number. Oh, are you talking about his bear base and bull case and the numbers added to adjusted EBITDA?
Yeah, but I was looking at just 2024, like the bull.
What's the bull case?
It was $1 billion in revenue on its own. Like,
wow.
It's like,
yeah, you're blowing your mic out. By the way, Amit, you gotta.
Oh, sorry.
Take a step back or something.
Yeah, when I saw for 2024 when everything was geared up $1 billion, I mean that's bigger than like I can give you 10 companies that's bigger than. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Student loans.
It'll be really exciting, and my favorite part is that like it's non-cannibalistic to the rest of the business. Like whenever they add this, it's not going to take away from personal loans. They're completely different. So with a lot of companies, they really have to face that. Like whenever they add a new product or update a new product, like even I was just watching a video with Lex Friedman and Mark Zuckerberg. He's like making this new product, the Meta 3. Okay, well that kills the price or that kills the sales of the Meta 2. You no longer sort of need that product anymore. This is what's great about banking is that sort of never happens, right? Maybe in a case where you put out a premium credit card, then the people that might want that card over the lesser one, then they'll choose that. But even in that case, then that's an upgrading client regardless.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
At what point does SoFi get to a normalized size of a regional bank by market cap? And before everybody answers, M&T Bank is 21.33 billion. Regions Financial is 17.42. Huntington Banco is 16.17. Citizens Financial is 13.95. And Truist,
we get it,
is 44 billion.
I mean, here's the thing that I think if like even Kyle brought this up a couple times, stocks do get reevaluated. They do get repriced. And that's an absolute possibility. So like, for example, whenever Tesla was running up in 2019, 2020, there would be 0 people, maybe Kathy Wood predicted it, that Tesla would have been bigger than every other automaker all put together all at once while selling 1/1000th of the cars. Okay. But people got excited whenever a company of an old niche could actually expand the total addressable market of the entire business. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I do think SoFi has an opportunity here with a lot of its products to get into areas that a traditional regional bank never would have gotten into. For example, partnerships with things like SoFi Travel, all the things they're doing with their invest products, working with Pagaya, etc. That all increase the total average revenue per user comparatively to any other regional bank, especially with no branches, all of these things, cost savings on the other side of having less headcount and cloud native technology, that I'm a big believer SoFi will pass them like much sooner than people think.
Yeah, I had a dream. I had a dream the other day about SoFi. It was
You're into these guys. You're in it.
So like the dream was just like, Kyle, 1 year ago, it was like someone talking to me, and it was, Kyle, 1 year ago, SoFi was 440th bank by assets. It's 113 or 114 now, a year later. And it was like a buy signal in the morning.
Did you make money that day?
Oh, I put in a lot around the 4 to 5, the 4 to 6 gap is when I decided to average, because I hadn't been buying for like 4 to 6 months, and I was like, all right, it's time.
Kyle, how much is SoFi of your portfolio overall?
It's 100 now.
Wow.
Damn.
I don't.
That's why he's the OG. That's why he's the OG.
Did you disclose your average? If you feel comfortable? Your average?
I wish it was lower, of course. It's about 10, but
Okay. It's not
it
bad.
was as high as like 18, 17 at one point, like a year ago. So I took the time to average down at the 4, 5, 6, and it worked. You know, it dropped.
You've been making money off the options on the ride. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I know you can lose all your money investing, gambling, but I mean, this is nothing compared to like sports betting or like the casino. Like I've gambled a lot at the casino, a lot in sports betting.
Ooh, what game do you play? What's your poison?
Blackjack.
Stop it.
So you
Why
like
does everybody say
you-
blackjack?
I don't play the computer games, like, because it's just like computerized. I don't like that. Like slot.
Next time you go,
You play
go
craps.
play craps.
I knew it, dude. I knew it.
I have a full system I'll teach you. Full mathematical system.
Steven,
I
no one wants
legitimately
to hear
have.
your-
I know Steven in his
Fuck.
entire personality. I just get him.
Fucking Rain Man over here is like gaming casinos. Like, of course you are.
But I don't
No,
feel like
it's simple. There's 2 dice. There's 36 combinations.
We're not hearing your fucking your BS. It's gambling. It's not real.
No,
I
okay,
think
yes, it's gambling, but this is a system that I promise you, you're not going to win a lot, you're not going to lose a lot, and you're going to get a lot of casino comps. And you're going to have a great time.
isn't the
Perfected this
highest
over
chance
a
of
very
winning?
long period of time.
Isn't the highest chance of winning at a casino? I think it's baccarat.
oh, that's the Japanese game.
Yeah, it's as close to 50-50 as possible, because you're either picking the house or the player, and so you
So,
pick either
Tannor,
one, and then they take a house fee every now and then.
I mean,
are-
roulette is like 48%.
You are.
I
a
know, but I'm
numbers guy.
saying I'm pretty sure it's baccarat.
I have a question for Kyle. Let me ask you. So Kyle, have you naturally been a risk taker to go 100% all in one stock, gambling? Like, is that kind of your personality, or where did that come from?
Yeah, but not like I always have like a certain amount of like money like I'm willing to lose, like when I gamble, sports betting and stuff like that. Like, but I don't feel like this is a gamble, like, because I can handle a 30% dip on SoFi on a bad earnings, no problem. I'll just make up for it, holding an additional 9 months, a year, bounce back. You know, you're gonna bounce back on those nasty.
So in comparison to every other opportunity in the market, your argument is just SoFi is the clearest thing that you can follow, and it just makes you easy to invest in it.
I mean,
what was your aha moment? Like, when did you like realize like the value and did you have bad experiences with other prior banks?
probably after they became a bank, when they got the bank charter, I was like, okay, they got it. Nobody's getting these things right now. Flexibility is about to go through it. And then it took another 6 months for anything to happen. Like, we weren't really getting anything for the bank charter the first 6 months. And then I just noticed like freaking EBITDA went from, 10 to 40 to 70. And I'm just like, wow, this is really starting to snowball. And then, like, if you actually, like, I know right now we're saying SoFi is hot, like it's running hard, but like if you put it right under Nvidia and Meta, you'll be like, what the hell? This thing hasn't ran at all.
Yeah.
Like, Nvidia and Meta are what, top 5 or top 7.
Well, even Tesla's like 120% year to date.
Yeah, but not-
Palantir is
if
under
not more.
50%. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a difference when you start talking about these companies, especially Meta. Go look at their net income and free cash flow.
Yeah, I mean, but
I don't
just-
like looking at that kind of stuff because it's
Yeah,
comparable
because
to
you
their
don't like profit.
to their
It's
market
not
cap.
immaterial.
It
You
is so
measure
much-
company success by revenue and profit.
No,
Nothing else.
well, I agree with that statement, but also it matters more whenever you own all of their market cap. If you can buy $1,000 of any stock, their total revenue or their total EBITDA does not matter at all. It's the growth rates and whether they can sustain it.
Damn, Steven. He said you don't know how to fucking analyze a company.
I just
Well,
think
I
just
mean,
feel like
do you
90
hear him talking? Do you hear him coming back?
SoFi's up 100, right? And then
It
Nvidia's
is
up.
so sad. That
Hold on,
we
let Kyle
have
talk.
gone
Then
away
you got it.
from
You got Kyle, then
fundamental
you go ahead.
analysis and
He,
profit.
he's ready to reply, and we cut him off. Hey, stop.
Hey,
Steven.
hey, we
Stop,
got a
stop,
guest
stop.
on the show. Go ahead, Kyle.
We don't have this kind of time, Steven.
I'd feel
You're right. We don't have this type of time to actually explain these things. So go.
Okay, Kyle, go ahead.
like if I'm like owning SoFi right now, up 100% from the bottom, it doesn't feel as overwhelming if I was holding Nvidia up 250. I would just be thinking, oh, my socks are about to be pulled out under my feet any given moment.
That's a
You know what
great
I mean?
fucking point. That's a great.
That's
point.
a feeling.
Anyone holding Nvidia right now should be fucking worried because in any moment, the RSI got to the RSI got to 86 when it hit 418, and every time it hits 87, it drops like a rock.
You're fucking holding Palantir at like
Palantir is
$18, dude,
not-
or $17,
No, no,
whatever it is.
but
Ran
Nvidia
150. That's
had
not
a run.
as
Do
bad.
you remember Trump? Do you guys remember that Trump thing? That wrong. That's that's how I feel. Just wrong, and that's all I need to say. And I sold my Palantir.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
150
that was
that was a good ass run on Palantir. Like, good. I mean, I'd be feeling good, and at the same time, I'd be feeling a little, damn, this shit's running hot.
No, but I agree with you. But so now, as a Palantir shareholder who has a heavy position, I'm thinking about the Nvidia shareholders. That this bitch went from 300 to 400. Whereas SoFi goes from 4 to 8. You could stomach that a little bit more than 250 to 420 on
Well,
Nvidia.
Nvidia went from 100 to 400.
That's true. That's true.
That's fucking crazy.
Steven,
I
go
will
ahead.
make you a wager. And donate. I don't want money. You either donate to a charity of my choice, and I'll donate to a charity of your choice. Okay.
Who's the wager you're with? Tannor?
Tanner, because he just
Okay.
said wrong. On
Okay.
a percentage basis, not a dollar basis. I will bet you Palantir is up more on a percentage basis in 1 year from now than Nvidia. And we can do it for charity.
I'd have to think about that, but I'm not as hesitant as you
somebody's
think.
not so confident.
No, I'm
anymore.
actually more confident than now that I'm thinking about it, because I think that Palantir will fall from here, and I think that Nvidia
I'm not
will stay
saying they
steady.
won't, but in a year from now, I'm saying on a percentage basis, they will be up more than Nvidia.
Steven,
I'm willing to put my money
But
where
here's
my
the
mouth
thing: is the way that I would think about it is I don't think that Nvidia would outgrow Palantir. I think that Palantir would shrink more than Nvidia. I think that Nvidia would stay steady.
What does that even mean?
That means exactly what I said. I think
in that case, you'd win, Tanner.
yes, I know exactly. I think that Palantir would be more in the red than Nvidia. I don't think it would be who would be more green a year from now. I think it would be who would be more red.
Their stock. Okay.
So you think they're both going to fall from here?
I think that Nvidia will stay steady.
Okay. So it works both ways. Whoever goes up.
But I
more
haven't
falls
given it
less.
great
Either
thought.
way,
If you're talking about putting money, I got to think about it.
Steven,
it's for charity. What's there to think
Amen.
about?
hey,
I don't have charity money. I need
I
me
don't
money.
want your money. Donate to a charity of my choice. I'll donate to a charity of your choice. I don't want your money.
All right,
if
Kyle,
you
go
I
ahead.
want your money.
Steven, you realize you're about to hit your 12-month price target on SoFi already. Like you're $1 away, $1.50.
Yeah, well, I was saying that before. It's
If
crazy.
you were on tip ranks, you'd be a 5-star analyst right now.
No, because they don't take into consideration dividends. And I write a lot about dividend stuff.
I think he just means on that one
But,
position.
Yeah, look, I really do think that SoFi is going to go to 10, and maybe it comes down from here, but I think it hits 10 before 2024. There's just too many catalysts that can push it up.
It's going higher than 10.
I love the
Yeah.
stock code, bro.
I'm trying to be conservative.
I love the smirk, eh? It's going higher than 10.
One thing to take into account is, as we've been saying, SoFi got destroyed in 2022 and 2023, going from, I think the high was 25.
No, it's
28 to 470. Like, it's gone through the crash. And at some level, if the fundamentals are there, the growth is there, the market's going to reward it.
it got gutted and it beat 8 for 8 earnings, like on a, just your revenue and your EPS estimates.
That's because the macro sucked at the time, and macro's
Look, it's
getting
a testament to their management.
That's the thing, though. It's not about like earnings or EBITDA or all this other stuff. Like, it's short-term moves, and the short term is very binary. Shit that's oversold will run harder than stuff that's not.
Yeah, agreed.
When's the last time you guys have heard fintech on CNBC? I haven't heard it in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They ran with, what were they running with? Just like AI the past 6 months. I don't know what it was before that, but fintech is like freaking oil stocks at this point.
Yep.
Dude, oil stocks are nice.
I told you he's a value investor, but
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm not any type of investor. I have different buckets for different things. Oil and gas is going to be here through 2050, even longer. Renewables are going to have a great run. They're going to continue to gain ground on the global market stage for consumption percentage on the total energy market. But oil and gas, anybody who's read any drilling reports or looked at any EIA or IEA
Okay, hold on. One
presentations
sec, Stephen. We have 10 minutes left in the stream. Can we do like?
What do you mean? It's a 5-hour stream tonight.
Well, no, because somebody has to leave for Pounder. Can we do the last 10 minutes of Q&A and then ask people? Because like Kyle's here too, and I feel like people will want to ask questions to Kyle. And while people are asking questions, Stephen can continue his rambling. Go ahead.
Can I start though really quick? Because there was a comment earlier whenever I was making my ramble about Tesla, and it got me upset. And it's from a guy that I like, but he said Tesla is a household name, SoFi isn't. Dude, Tesla is not a household name.
What?
Yeah,
You think Tesla? Do you think Tesla is a household name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Okay, so let me just say.
Is this? Every Indian in America is owning a Tesla now. Like,
Oh, no.
And not only that, I was talking about Tesla back in 2020. Okay, they had less sales than every other automaker. Whenever I said that, you can't assume that the brand is bigger than those automakers. It was by far the smallest.
Tanner.
Yep.
For Q1 in 2023, Model Y was the
I know,
car.
but I'm talking about back
not
in
EV.
2020. I know. I saw it. I saw the thing in the world. I saw it.
Okay. Do you know how long it took Tesla to turn a profit? Besides, they had this little EV credit thing. Not that didn't count. It was like an EV credit in like 03 or 04
years or something like that.
EK didn't upset me. I just disagree.
So 9 years, right?
It was something like that. I think it's something like that.
Let's just call it 10. That's a long time, right? SoFi will be on the market 3 years, and they think they're going to turn a profit. Look at the difference and like time frame of like having to deal with that pain. That's a lot of pain because the stock went flatline for 5-6 years before it did move up a little, but.
And what's crazy about that is in 2019 they did that whole switch in like strategy. They were a student loan company in 2018. 2019 they like blew up with all these different products. Yeah. Then 2 years later they went to they went on the market and then there was that whole COVID thing and student loan moratorium. And they're incredibly resilient, still growing 8 quarters in a row. It just absolutely insane.
Noto better step it up because financial services might start embarrassing his tech platform.
It already is, right?
Yo, Kyle, what are your thoughts on Galileo? Are you bullish on it? Do you like it? Do you like what do you
It's hard for me to like really experience it, like I see they're trying to go out to small businesses and stuff, but like I just think these big legacy banks, they like have to do it. And it's almost like how we're seeing with GM with these electric charging stations with Tesla that just the news came out. You saw that? That's almost like right now what it's like for these legacy banks. Like they almost have to wave the white flag and like hop on with Galileo, Technisys, and they need to save money because they're not growing. So they have to find out ways to increase their profits. And I don't know. It kind of feels like Citi in a weird way with what that analyst is doing with his price target. I feel like they're going to be like hopping on for sure. Is that the Indian guy?
Yeah, we've seen that though. Citi raised it to 10, Oppenheimer raised it to 8, and like analysts are going to chase the price.
But
even David Cavarini raised it to 3 from 2.5.
On the tech platform, if they start getting some of the large financial institutions
Just one.
and then that starts expanding. That could give SoFi a tech valuation, not a bank valuation, or a hybrid valuation, and that's important.
I feel like they're close to just make it like just landing a big one. Maybe not the top 3, but like a top 8.
The problem is, I feel like the market is always, not the market in general, but like the talking heads on the CNBCs and analysts, and they have a very traditional view of what they can quantify. That's what they'll judge the stock as. Like Tesla, for example, it still has laggards that are still viewing it as a car company, purely as a car company, right? And so I think that SoFi is obviously going to be measured to JP Morgan's and Wells Fargo's and Citigroups for longer than the retail crowd would like to think. We're already seeing SoFi as a fintech with a heavy emphasis on the tech portion. It's going to be seen as a bank for longer than we expect.
Yeah, but the book value is like 1.3. It's like still priced at like grandpa status. Think about it. I think it's 1.4 or 3
When
now.
you look at institutions, it's only 37% held by institutions. So when they start getting in different index funds, you're going to see that go up over 50%.
Yeah,
because they're going to be mandated to buy for their funds.
It's 1.38 book value now. It finally passed 1.
Yeah, well, that's probably tangible book value, or no, actually, probably the run up. That's probably regular book. Tangible book value would probably be higher than that.
Tangible is going to be lower than book. Strips out goodwill.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, I apologize. Sorry, my echo is going off. Okay, what I was going to state about that. If we do just stay around a 1 price to book or something along these lines, and our multiple doesn't actually expand, then we're just going to get a stock that grows as fast as they can grow their book. And SoFi, I believe, will be growing very quickly. So it's like,
it's a good point.
You know what I mean? So either the stock, like eventually it does have to hit a bottom. And I do think like at $5, like you can see with Noto buying, like it was almost just a clear cut call buying this nationally chartered bank, one of the safest plays, especially whenever they have a loan book that's not really exposed to any of these dangerous activities that, a lot of these other banks are doing. And they can't hide behind any of the activities that banks are doing as well, like holding these loans to maturity, but their deposits are bleeding, so they need to sell. Like everything is transparent.
What percentage of SoFi is institutional investors?
37%.
Yeah.
So those 37, the people of those institutions, they can't own more than 10% of the company, correct?
No, it's a bank, so no, unless they get special permission.
Or they are a bank.
So gap profitability, you guys think it's not going to lead the current institutions to double down. Maybe you think more institutions will come in when they.
Well, I think
it could be banks like JP Morgan could buy more of this.
More institutions. It may just be more funds within the institution.
What do you mean?
You look at something like State Street. Think about how many ETFs they operate.
Yeah, but are they allowed to own more than 10% of SoFi across multiple indexes?
That I don't know. I'd have to look to see if it's per fund or per institution. It's probably per institution.
So
that's
you
what I
have the
was saying.
same conversation every pod, guys. Like 10%, that's the cap. Like
Tevis, we're talking about one $5 billion company. You want to cut us some slack here?
Amit is 30 seconds away from being like, why doesn't Buffett buy SoFi?
Did you see the guy? There was a guy on my Twitter that said he had 60,000 shares of SoFi, and I asked him what he did for work. Did y'all see that?
No.
Did not see that.
He was a vascular surgeon.
What is vascular?
Veins, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's 60,000 shares. I mean, that's freaking
Jesus.
Kyle, I'm curious. Are you in the SoFi Discord? Because we have this so in the SoFi Discord, we have a special role for people who have verified that they have over 25,000 shares, and there's like 20 or 30 people in there, and they just drop DD all the time, and they have like their own like chat window. It's great. You should join.
You should join. Even as a content creator, you'll have your own thing.
Okay.
And I think we also track your video posts as well on there.
Yep.
wow. That's insane. I didn't know that many people had that many shares.
There's some crazy big.
I think TJ owns 1 million across his fund.
TJ the Wheel Deal. Do you know him,
Yeah.
Stockboat? TJ the Wheel Deal.
1 million shares or dollars?
1 million shares.
Oh, he
No way.
sells cash secured puts for a living. So he just
Ah.
like wheels the market, and he got assigned some of them over the past couple of months.
I think 300 or 400,000 of those are his alone.
His wife went to Stanford, and so she loves SoFi because they have Stanford founders. So like that was kind of his logic, and then all the other DD came in, but that's
God.
that's why I
I'm
like.
surprised he's not here right now. Most of the time he's here. He was in my live stream earlier today.
Bro, he must be having a great week. He must be having a great.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, can't even imagine. That's a lot of money you just made. That's
Man, him and his wife just got married. Well, I guess now wife, and they looked great. I saw that wedding and it looked amazing. He had a big Wall Street cake and everything. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh really?
He
Oh,
had
I
like
gotta
a
have that at my
normal wedding cake and then a Wall Street cake.
Kyle, are you single, or do you have a significant other?
Single, yeah.
Okay, so if you get a girlfriend or wife one day, do you want her to be interested in the stock market or no?
Yes.
Are you about to say your pickup line so then he can go get a girl? Or
Admit, my wife's a better investor than me.
I've just always been curious if a guy's into the stock market or the girl, do they kind of want an escape from that with their significant other, or do they want to bond over that with their significant other?
Everybody likes money, Amit.
Every girl I've ever talked to, like, none of them.
None of them, right?
Stock market, not one of them.
Yeah.
I've never met them.
Yeah.
Admit, think about it this way: my wife bought Tesla, I didn't.
That's actually why they're better investors than us, because they don't actually focus on the stock market and they just
So true.
about it.
That's
It's
so
literally like proven fact that women are better investors than men.
All right,
Kathy Wood.
that's it for the
Matthew
week.
Wood.
Kyle, thank you for joining, man. This has been awesome.
Can we take 0 questions? By the way?
Kyle, I want to go over my crap strategy with you.
After
No,
we go live, we can still be
No,
on.
I don't know. I live in Florida, but at the Seminole Hard Rock, I live 15 minutes from that, and that's like one of the biggest casinos in Florida.
Enter, can you put Kyle's Twitter in the chat?
It's bad.
I don't know it off the top of my head. Why don't you ask him? I'm not like. Why are you asking me? He can put it in the chat.
It's at Stockgoat, isn't it?
Yes.
It is actually it
Oh,
says
it's like Kyle White 18 or something.
Kyle White.
Kyle White Goat.
Gracious.
I think someone took the stock goat. I don't know.
There you go. I posted it in
Yeah,
the chat.
but
You can put it up on the screen.
Okay. Yeah.
You're supposed to put the link so people can click on. You got to get used to like,
Dude, I like.
No, he blessed us with his time. We want to give him some followers. You take his fucking link, you put it in the chat, and then people click on it.
I wasn't staring at his Twitter. I just.
All right.
Wrote
Anyway, Kyle, thank you for being here. Any last words?
Let's
Are you
see.
gonna come on more often?
Yeah, I can. Let's see.
Any life advice? Anything?
Look at the chat. People want
This
to know
is
about my
deep
crap
thought.
strategy.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know.
That's funny.
Let's do another
If you
video.
had to say something to 452 people, what would you say to them?
I would say stay invested in the bad times.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
like that too.
Steven, let's do another video, and you could tell your craps advice there.
Or Steven could start a YouTube channel like I've been telling him for fucking 6
Yeah,
months.
do that. Do that.
Ramblings of a crazy person.
People will watch. People like you. You have a personality. People will watch.
Dude, honestly, I think a lot of people could value your opinions on baseball cards, comics, craps, and value investing.
Alternative
So-
investments, sir. Alternative investments.
and value investing.
And World of Warcraft, if you decide to do like a gaming spin too.
Yeah.
People would tune in for that.
You're a man of many niches.
Kyle, we need you on the weekly more often.
We
Is
do.
it always Saturday? Is it? Oh wait,
Today's Friday, my
Friday.
man.
Okay, Friday.
It's always Friday at like either 9:30 or 10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
We've been going on at 9:30 pretty
So admit,
frequently now.
let this stay live when you go over to Palantir.
No,
People are asking
No,
for
I
a
gotta
crap
go.
strategy. I want to give
You
you
gotta
time.
leave them wanting
I gotta
more.
go.
See you.
Kyle,
right.
I'm glad you got to come on. It was awesome.
Steven, let's talk tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.